Hi, my friends. This is one of the topics that people ask me most uh, when I'm having my spiritual talks. I do spiritual talks on TikTok every Monday night and no Tuesday night and Friday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time. If you're ever interested, um, it's fun because it's open. I don't have a structure. I don't have a topic, so it's open to whatever people want to ask. And actually, the most number one by far question that I get asked is, "Where are you from?" One of my mods says that she's gonna do like a banner. Yari's from Puerto Rico. Anyhow, the first question, the number one question that people, the spiritual question that people ask me is how to raise your vibration in different ways, right? People ask about manifestation, people ask about that the answer is raising your vibration. So I have to answer, I have to explain how do you raise your vibration, right? And so I thought it would be interesting and helpful to make that a week here, so we could talk about that. So how do you raise your vibration? um, there is even toxic spirituality, right? This thing about everything happens for a reason. Yeah, but Um, there's a lot of that has to do with our choices and with other people's choices. So I don't want to blame a child for getting cancer, you know? Um, and and yes, everything happens for a reason, but with those kinds of limitations, right? I'm not gonna blame a child for getting cancer. I'm not gonna blame a woman for getting raped or a child. So there's limitations to this that has to do with our free will, right? With our freedom of choice. Um, the other side of spiritual toxicity is being happy 24/7. No. Uh, being positive, and I've talked about this, I talk about this all the time on the day to day, you want to be as positive as possible because what you emit, you're going to bring back, right? So if you're negative, if you're judgmental, if you are sarcastic all the time, because I was very sarcastic years ago, and I thought that was just so funny. I thought it was like, I'm the queen of sarcasm. And then I understood that that is being passive aggressive. And it's being judgmental. And that's not funny. It's not funny and it's not positive. Um, so I try to not be that. With friends or with families, when we are joking with each other, when it's understood that we're joking, I can throw in a little sarcasm, but not in the day-to-day dealings with people. Uh, so yes, I want you to be positive, but I don't want ever for you to deny your feelings, your pain, your anger, your frustration. Okay? And it's not about getting stuck there. And it's tricky because I cannot give you a time frame, right? So, your mother dies. Oh, you have 7.2 months to grieve. What? No, right? It depends on the relationship with your mother. It depends on where you are in your life. I mean, I can't give you a timeline. You're gonna grieve for as long as you're gonna grieve. But the point is not to get stuck in that grief. You can be sad for not having your mom for the rest 50 years. Nothing wrong with that. But grieving, that is being stuck in grief. Okay. So if you cannot think about your mom and burst into tears after 20 years, 30 years of her passing, it's being stuck there for sure. Okay. Life is gonna life, right? You're gonna encounter people that are gonna be not very nice to you, that are gonna say things that are hurtful, and the thing is that we need to choose our battles, okay? Um, because we cannot get offended and angry about every single interaction, human interaction. Um, but we don't want to bypass our emotions either, you know. So if, for example, if my husband was going to say something hurtful, I'm going to feel that, right? And I'm going to have a conversation about that. But if the cashier at the supermarket is going to say something hurtful, I might hear it. I might not take it lightly, but I'm going to move on very quickly because that person is not important in my world. Okay. Uh, that's why doing GCP. And if you don't know GCP, let me know. I have a video explaining GCP. It's this is crucial. Okay. If you want to raise your vibration, that's one of the first things that you have to do is GCP daily. Okay. That's Ground Clear Protect. And it's free. I give it to everybody for free because I think I've done it for years because I think everybody should know how to protect your energy. Okay. So we need to choose our battles, right? So, yes, I want you to be positive every day as much as you can, even especially your thoughts. Because if you are cussing that person out and being really nice on your mouth, the universe can hear your thoughts too. So, you want to be positive. And hey, I cuss people out in my brain all the time. Well, not all the time, but sometimes. Um, but I can, you know, I'm gonna I would do it and I go like, you totally deserve that. But you know what? You are also a piece of the whole, right? And I don't know your story. I don't know why you are who you are, but you're still a part of the universe and a crucial part. If I think of everybody as a piece of the puzzle, the whole is the entire puzzle. Every piece is important to make it the whole puzzle, right? So even though I may be angry at that person, thinking about them and sending them love is crucial for me. Okay. And there are people in this world, and we all know that it's really hard to think in terms of love, but they're also a piece of the puzzle. Okay. So your thoughts need to start positive and then your thoughts. Okay. And it's okay when we hear, and this is the most, when I start doing this consciously, I want to be as positive as possible. It was first the most transforming, but it was harder than I thought it was going to be. Why? Because I thought I was starting as a very positive person and I had no idea how much judgment and negativity was in my brain until I made the effort for it to be as positive as possible. So it's okay for you to hear yourself uh, in your brain saying something that is not as positive or judgmental or what have you, and go, whoa, take it back, roll it back, roll it back, start again. And then when I was speaking, and I will hear myself saying something that was not the most positive, I would say to the person, wait, 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 hold up. Let me start over because that was not very positive. And I would say it again. And that is okay. Until it became normalized. Okay. And some days are better than others because I'm a human being, right? So give yourself that grace too. The other thing that we need to think about is vibration changes constantly, constantly. I mean, you can love your job and you're not going to be as good at it every day. You're just not. Because I don't know, maybe because you didn't have a good night's sleep, or maybe because you had a disagreement, or because you watched something on TV that really hurt you, or you saw something on the news. We're gonna leave it at that. Or, or because you have a stomach ache. Who knows, right? Vibration changes all the time. Even in one day, your vibration is not going to be linear. Okay? It's going to fluctuate. So we want to be on top of it to try to keep it as elevated as possible. Your nervous system is going to play an incredible role in this. So we need to try to regulate our nervous system as much as possible. And how do you do that? You ground, you breathe, right? You can splash really cold water or dunk your face. I've done it. Let me tell you, it's fantastic for your skin, but it's so hard. Bowl of iced water first thing in the morning and you dunk your face. Great for great. So hard to do. Um, Exercise regulates your nervous system. EFT tapping. Okay. You tap. And if you don't know EFT tapping, let me tell you, it's magical. It's magical. You tap on certain points, which are called meridians, right? It's like acupuncture without the needles. I'm all for that, right? You tap on certain meridians, right? And you say some things, right? If you're struggling with money, everybody's struggling with money. Let's say that, right? You will say, I know, and you're gonna fill in the blanks, okay? I know that it's hard to make money, or I know that money seems to not last or finish very soon or slip through my fingers, depending on your circumstances, right? So I know, or even though is usually the phrase that is used, even though, and you can use, and you can find hundreds of videos. And if you want me to direct you to one that's good, I can do that. Okay. It's not me, it's somebody else, but um, there's one that's excellent. You just have to change the wording and you can do it for whatever is stressing you out. Okay. But you want to do this daily and it's gonna change your life. Okay. So you say something like, even though money is hard right now, I'm willing to let that go. Even though I'm scared about money, I'm willing to let that go. And you say a couple of rounds of your fears, whatever it comes up, right? And then you change it to your, for example, affirmations, right? Right? I'm an incredible creator. Everything I touch turns into gold, blah, 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 right? So first you empty. First you take out, expel, you throw out uh what's bothering you. And then you all this tapping, right? You're gonna do at least 2 rounds of tapping, expelling, and then your affirmations a couple of rounds. I tap every day, like 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, and it's life changing, it's magical. Okay. So calibrating your nervous system is regulating your nervous system is incredible, and that is going to help raise your vibration. Why? Because you are getting rid of things that are hard on you, things that have you scared, or and you're gonna feel your energy moving. Okay. What happens to me and what happens to most people, you start crying, right? Crying, like when you are yawning, that you start crying. I yawn a lot, and a lot of tears. Sometimes, like I burp a lot. That's energy moving, 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 moving. Okay, which is fantastic. So when the the bad thoughts, or the things that causes you stress come out, your energy is able to rise. Okay. You want to align to things, right? What do you want to align to? How do you align to things, right? You want to follow your joy. You want to follow your joy. Do the things that you love to do. If you're my students, you know that I tell all my students when we're talking about this, have a list. Have a list of the things that give you joy. And this can be an ongoing list. The more things you have, the better. Okay. And I give examples like this. If you like a cup of coffee, first thing in the morning, watching the sunrise, do that every day. If you like a glass of wine, watching the sunset, do that. Do a bubble bath. Watch your favorite Netflix series. Okay. If you like dancing, dance in your kitchen if you cannot go dancing, whatever it is, those are the little things, okay? And you're gonna keep a list, and you're gonna try to do as many of those things as you possibly can in your day. What's gonna happen? You're gonna be happy. You're going to be happy. You're going to be happy. Follow your joy. Do a job that you love. Do I love that you job that boo, boo, boo. A job that you love? Think about how stressful, how impacting is on your nervous system that you are 8 hours every day, 8 hours of every day of every week, 5 days a week, doing something that you hate. Not good. Not good. Now, if it is a job that you hate, if it's a financial decision, have a plan, okay? I'm gonna do this job for 2 years. I'm gonna do this job for 3 years. I'm gonna do this job for 5 years while I earn my money and I save or pay this debt and pay this debt and pay this debt. And I'm gonna save this amount of money, and then I'm gonna change. You need to start thinking about where you're going to go, because you know you don't want to hit your 5 year or 2 year or 3 year mark and have nothing, and then it takes you 2 more years to find a job. Have a plan. Have a plan, okay? And start working towards that plan. Surround yourself with people that you love and that love you back, that has your back. You know, family doesn't have to be family. They don't. If they're toxic, you don't have to talk to them. You don't. You can choose. You absolutely can. Okay? So if you have parents or siblings or children, not when they're little, they're your responsibility. Okay? But when they're grown, if they're toxic, they're toxic. You can put boundaries. You can. You should. Okay? Um, so do the little things, do the big things. Do a job that you love. Surround yourself with people that you love and love you back. And take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself like you are the most important person in the world. You know what? Because you are. You are integral to this world. There's nobody like you. There's what, 4 billion people, something. I can never remember the number, but it's billions or trillions of people in 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 the earth, right? There's nobody like you. Not one person, even if you're an identical twin, there's nobody like you. You are special. Treat yourself like that. Eat well. And I'm not saying give up cake for the rest of your life. Hey, we all need cake and ice cream, right? We do. We do. We need that. 100%. We need that. But eat well. Eat well at the best of your ability and your budget. Eat well. Hydrate. Exercise. And sleep well. And I'm not saying that you need to go get a gym membership. Go take a walk. It's free. Every day. Every day. Take care of yourself and sleep well. When you're well taken care of, you are going to feel better. You're going to be a better human. You're going to be a better wife, a better husband, a better parent, a better child. You're just going to be a better person. And guess what's going to happen to your energy? Your vibration is going to rise. And when our vibration rises, we are on the flow, which is why this is important. When we are on the flow, we can recognize the signs, we can hear the messages, because our nervous system is regulated. We're not in fight or flight. We're calm. We react differently. We act differently. And your highs are going to be higher, but the lows are not going to be as low. And that's why it's important to raise your vibration. I love you. I hope you enjoy this week. Bye.